Hi, it's Belle from Ignite Art Therapies. I just wanted to chat about vision boards today because quite often people create vision boards but they don't actually know what to do with that. So it's not only about recognising what you want in the future, but it's about recognising how to get there. So what's the path? What are some of the things that are in the way? And how do you interact with that vision and make it a reality? So join me now as I demonstrate how to create the ultimate vision board. I'd love for you to step through this process with me. We just want to take it one bit at a time because sometimes we think we already know what's going to go on it, but we also need to be open for new possibilities, for things that we may not have thought about or things that we yet to discover. So let's get cracking into it. So what I would ask you to do is to grab some magazines or newspapers or catalogues, the types of things with images on them. I like to use these free postcards that you see around the place as well. So just gather some materials together and I'll meet you back here for us to get started on the ultimate vision board. To begin, we're just going to choose some images from the materials that you've gathered. Don't think about it too much at this stage. Just let the shape, the colour, the texture or the image itself speak to you. So choose the ones that jump out at you and don't think about it too much. Just go with your gut here and collect those images before we get back to create our vision board. So now that we've got the images out of our magazines or postcards or catalogues, what we need to do is just to cut around the parts that we would like to use. And what we can do is just open ourselves to discover what the meaning is as we go. So just spend some time doing that and I'll meet you back here in a little while. So now that we've got the images cut out, it's just a matter of simply arranging them out on a big piece of paper. And just take the time to sort of reflect as you go and see if there's any meaning that comes while you're arranging them out on the page. So now that you've mapped out your vision board, I just have a couple of things that I want you to ponder. The first being, when you have a look at your vision board, is there anything that's missing? And if there is, how can you add that in? How does that element combine with everything else on the board? And secondly, what I'd like you to do is just to have a look at all of the images and shapes and colours that you have on your board and just see if there's any meaning that comes from that. So grab a piece of paper and a pen and just sit down and write a reflection. What were some of the thoughts that you had while you were creating it? What images popped out at you? And what messages are there for you to create your full vision? So now that we've mapped out our vision for the future and have interacted with it and got some meaning from it, I want to take you through a technique of taking it to the next level, because there's one thing to create the vision, but there's another thing to actually act on it. And so what we're going to do is grab some paper, and you might want to use plasticine or objects or paint or any type of material that you feel would suit this. And what we're going to do is have a think about where you are now and what you want in the future. And what is that path? How do you get there? And are there any roadblocks in the way? What are the things that stop you from achieving what you want? The things that may prevent you or get in the way of really achieving your vision. So I just want you to spend some time mapping that out and then we'll touch base again and have a look at those things and see what we do with them. So now that we've mapped out the way to our vision, what we want to focus in on is those things that might stop us from getting there. So for instance, in my picture, there's a few black lines and red crosses that prevent me from getting this vision on the wall here. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to focus in on those blocks and just concentrate. Is there anything that you can do in this image to make the path a lot easier? Is there something that needs to go? Is there something that needs to be added to make a clearer path? Are there some strategies that you can put in place so that that vision becomes a reality? So that's what we're going to do now, is just focus in on the image and the blocks that you have and just seeing what you can do to make that path a lot easier. So now that you've created your ultimate vision and got some sort of understanding of what stops you and prevents you from getting what you want, what I'm going to ask you to do is to think about if there's a title or a symbol or a saying that's going to encapsulate that whole process that you've just been through. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just to create it so that every day you can remind yourself of that image. And of the process that you've just done. So it could be that you have it in your wallet, it could be that you look for signs everywhere. It's just another way to remember this whole process and how to get this vision that you're after. Quite often I get asked about what to do with the vision board. What I recommend is not to put it in the back of your wardrobe and never look at it again. You can do lots of things. So put it in a prominent place where you can look at it each day and engage with each element of it. You might want to use a journal to interact with it. You could set goals on a weekly basis according to your vision guide. You can really look at it and engage with it on a conscious level. So then the ultimate vision can become a reality. So choose your own way of doing that, but please interact with it and make it a thing that becomes a part of every day. There we have the ultimate vision board. It's not just about creating that vision, but really having a look at the things that stop us from making that a reality. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this has been really worthwhile for you. Feel free to add some comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to be in touch. But thanks so much for joining me to create your ultimate vision board.